welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do a David Ortiz tribute game in celebration of his being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, the only one elected this year. So we thought we'd do a celebration game here, and this is a greatest team season that we're playing here with an older version of Action PC Baseball. We haven't updated it yet, but we plan on getting the new version pretty soon. But I'm playing through the greatest team season here, 20 greatest teams, which came with the back in 2018 with the Action PC Baseball. So we don't have any pictures uploaded to our new computer yet or anything, but we just decided to play a tribute game, and so far the Red Sox are doing very well. It's the 2007, I believe, Red Sox here against one of the 70s team from Oakland, as you can see. Greatest teams. But let me actually... we'll show it afterward. So anyway, I believe it's the 2007 Red Sox here, so we'll go over the lineup in a second. Tim Wakefield's getting the start for Boston. He's made 6 starts on the year and is 1-3 with an ERA of 5.22, so he hasn't fared that well so far. It'll be his second start against Oakland. He'll be opposed by Blue Moon Odom for Oakland. He's made 6 starts on the year and is also 1-3 with an ERA of 3.43. His second start against Boston. He's 0-1 with a 3.68 ERA against Boston. Oakland left fielder Joe Rudi is riding a 10-game hitting streak. 69 degrees, wind speed 15 miles per hour left to right. So, all right. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the Red Sox lineup is going to be second baseman. And again, let me just double check here, but I believe it's the 2007. Yeah, 2007 Red Sox. And Oakland is, let's go right here. Oakland Roster. Here we go. Oh, can't check it. Can't check any of that stuff there, but we'll check it when we get to, actually, maybe right here. There we go. Yeah, so 1972 Oakland Athletics. All right, so for the Red Sox, Destin Pedroia leads off and plays second, followed by Coco Crisp in center. The newly elected Hall of Famer David Ortiz is the DH. Batting third. Batting cleanup is Mike Lowe at third base. The first baseman, Kevin Youkilis, hits fifth, followed by J.D. Drew in right. Batting seventh is Manny Ramirez. And playing left, this is the computer lineup. I just went with it. Jason Varitek is behind the plate, batting eighth. And Julio Lugo, who recently passed away, bats ninth and plays short for the 2007 World Champion Red Sox. So for the 1972 World Champion Oakland Athletics is Blue Moon Odom on the mound. Behind him is Rudi in left, Joe Rudi in left, Reggie Jackson in center, and Angel Mangual in right field. The infield left to right is Sal Bando, Bert Campinaris, Gene Tennis getting a start at second. That's weird. You usually see him behind the plate, but I think they might have some injuries. I believe their regular second baseman, whose name escapes me offhand, but I'm sure it's Sal. No, it's Bando's at third. Anyway, he's injured, and Mike Epstein at first. So let me see. Maybe he might just be getting the day off too. But I think he got injured in the last game, the Oakland second baseman. So anyway, I'm sure it's somebody obvious. I just get his name is slipping my mind right now. You guys are probably shouting at the screen who it is. But anyway, this is the game for David Ortiz here, so we thought we'd play it. So the Red Sox are 20-10, and Oakland is, I believe, in the basement at 10-20, so just the opposite. Surprisingly for the 1972 Oakland Athletics. So we'll take a look at some stats, team stats, and league stats after the game. But without further ado, let's get it going. So Pedroia steps in. So far in the replay, he's hitting in the 30 games. He's hitting .291 with no home runs and 7 runs batted in. So Odom, .343 with a 1-3 record, as we said. 42 innings pitched, 47 hits allowed, 22 walks, and only 14 strikeouts. So the whip of 1.50. Opponents are hitting .287 against him. So let me see. Yeah, here we go. So this is how we face in the actual and season and in the replay. So Pedroia steps in the box. Odom gets ready to throw. Dave Duncan behind the plate. And Odom strikes him out. It's funny, we shut off the narrator, but for some reason he's still on. Let's see if I can try it again. Alright, so Coco Crisp up now. Crisp comes in hitting .229 in the replay with 3 homers and 9 runs batted, 4 stolen bases. Here's the pitch. And that's hit to tennis at second, over to first. 2 down. So now is the man of the hour, David Ortiz. The replay is hitting only .227, does have 4 homers and 20 runs batted in. In real life, he hit .332 with 35 homers and 117 runs batted in. So Odom pitches to Ortiz. Papi draws the walk. The Red Sox have their first base runner. So Gene Tennis up there now. Michael up there now, and we muted the sound on the TV since we had it streaming through our television. So on HD. So we decided to turn that off so it does not interfere or echo. All right, so Ortiz gets his lead at first. Michael O hitting .239 with 4 homers, 20 runs batted in the replay. There's his actual stats. Here's the windup and the pitch. So we get a little bit of lag going here. And he is retired for out number 3. All right, so Tim Wakefield on the hill. Struggling so far during the replay. Has a record of 1-3, as I said earlier. 5.22 earned run average, 29 to 30 innings pitched, 38 hits allowed, 7 home runs already, 9 walks and 11 strikeouts, whip of 1.6, and opponents are hitting .330 off of him. So hopefully he can have a good outing this year in this game. So for the Oakland Athletics, it's going to be Bert Campinaris, the shortstop. He bats first, followed by Joe Rudy, the left fielder. Mike Hegan or Joe Hegan? Mike Hegan, yeah, that's what I thought. Mike Hegan is the DH, batting third, followed by Epstein at first. Mike Epstein at first. Bats cleanup, followed by Reggie Jackson in center. Sal Bando bats 6th and plays 3rd. Gene Tennis, the second baseman today, hits 7th, followed by Angel Mangual in right field, and Dave Duncan's behind the plate, batting 9th. Dave Duncan, surprisingly, with 5 home runs already on the season, hitting just 173 though. So let's take a look at the Oakland roster here. So let's take a look at the let's see here, batters. So let's take a look at all the second basemen here. Marty Martinez, Tim Cullen. Now I think there is an injury. Here we go. Maybe not. He might be on the I can figure it out here. Usage, real. Yeah, maybe that he is the. No, I'm pretty sure there is another one. Yeah, there's got to be. Status position. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's another one. He's just injured and not on the roster. Anyway, get back to the game here. All right, so Bert Campinaris will lead it off. He's hitting .211 with a homer and 3 runs batted in 128 at-bats. So Tim Wakefield on the hill. Behind him in left field is Manny Ramirez. And Coco Crisp is a 10 in center. And J.D. Drew is above average in right. All with slightly above average arms at 6. The infield left to right is Mike Lowe with an 8 rating. Pedroia, the 9 rating, is the highest at second. Lugo with a 6 rating at short. And Euclid, actually, Euclid also with a very high rating at with a 9. I think that might have been the year that he was near perfect or perfect in fielding percentage. Pretty close to that. Anyway, so Campinaris and Jason Varitek, course behind the plate. Excellent defensively at 9. And an arm of 5, average at 5. So Wakefield looks in for the sign from Tech. Here's the windup and the pitch. Campinaris, so the ground ball to Euclid at first. He'll take it to the bag himself. Out number 1. And Joe Rudy comes in with a 10-game hitting streak. Rudy comes in hitting .317 with 6 homers and 16 runs batted in. Oakland, a very good offensive lineup. Power-wise, not so great average-wise overall, but power-wise, a lot of power. So, which is Wakefield's Achilles heel, so you have to be careful here. We'll have to be careful with the bullpen, too, as Wakefield can go from looking really good to looking really bad. So, Joe Rudy steps in the box. Wakefield looks in for the sign. He has the windup in the pitch. It's a fly ball to right. Drew drifts over and makes the catch. So, 2 up and 2 down in the Oakland first. That'll bring up the DH, Mike Hegan. He comes in hitting .235. No homers, 9 runs batted in. And that's going to be a walk, the first issued by Wakefield. That'll bring up Mike Epstein. Epstein hitting just .202, but does have 8 homers and 24 runs batted in. Leads the Athletics with 24 ribbies. So Wakefield will toss over to first. And Higgins back safely, getting a big lead. To throw over again. Shortens his lead a little bit. So Wakefield looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. And he strikes him out. So just a walk. And after 1, no score. So the Red Sox will send up Euclid, Drew, and Ramirez. Let's take a look at, if we can, Euclid's fielding percentage. Yeah, see, 1,000. That was the year he didn't commit any errors at first base. And 990 putouts, 90 assists, 101 double plays, and 1,000 fielding percentage. So excellent. And I think this is the actual season. I mean, the replay right here. So far, it's not committed an error. Alrighty. So Euclid up to the plate. Comes in hitting .262 with 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. Tied with Varitek for the team lead, I think, in homers with 5. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly to right. And then Gual comes over and makes a running catch at his knees for out number 1 in the second. So Blue Warner will face J.D. Drew now. Drew hitting .245, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. And that'll be the first Red Sox hit. A 1-out single in the second for J.D. Drew. Drew being held on by Epstein at first. Manny Ramirez up to the plate now. Ramirez hitting just .189, that's why he's batting 7th. 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. Drew gets his lead off first. Odom looks over, kicks and delivers. Ramirez hits one in the center. This one's deep, and that's going to be off the wall. Extra bases. And they're going to send send Drew in. And the Red Sox on the board with a Manny Ramirez RBI double. So that'll bring up Jason Varitek, the switch hitter. He'll be batting left against the righty Odom. Varitek off to a good start, hitting .310 in 87 at-bats with 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Ramirez gets his lead. Here's the pitch to Raretek. Now it's popped up behind the plate. Duncan goes back, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So to bring up Julio Lugo, hitting just 188 with a homer and 10 runs batted in. Here's the pitch, and he strikes him out. But the Red Sox get on the board first on the RBI double by Manny Ramirez, and it's 1-0 Boston after 1.5. Reggie Jackson up to the plate now. Comes in hitting .233 with 8 homers, 13 runs batted in. Wakefield looks in for the sign, and that one's hit to right. Drew barely moves and makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Sal Bando. Bando comes in hitting .273 with 2 homers, 18 runs batted in. And, yep, just like we said, the home run ball by Bando, and Wakefield coughs it up, and it's a 1-1 tie. So that change. Red Sox lead is short-lived. That'll bring up Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis comes in hitting just 138 in 29 at-bats with 2 runs batted in. And he strikes him out. So Wakefield comes back after surrendering the home run with a strikeout. So 2 outs now. That'll bring up Angel Mangual. Hitting just 181 with 1 run batted in and 72 at-bats. And that's a ground ball to... Oh, it looks like Euclid is going to take it. And Wakefield covers first, and that'll retire the side. So Oakland ties it up, and it's 1-1 after 2. So top of the order, Pedroia, Crisp, and ORTIZ up against Odom here. Odom looks in for the sign from Duncan. He has to wind up in the pitch to Pedroia, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. So the Red Sox have the go-ahead run on here in the top of the 3rd. Coco Crisp up there now. I think we're going to let Pedroia try to steal. Pedroia's off with the pitch, and he is safe. So Pedroia gets his 2nd steal of the season, so run in scoring position now for Crisp. Odom looks in for the sign, looks back at Pedroia, and that's going to be a ground ball to Tennis over to first as Pedroia moves to 3rd with 1 down now. So Big Papi up there now. Walked his first time up. RBI opportunity. Here's the pitch. That one skied to center. This should be deep enough to get him in. Jackson makes the catch, and Pedroia will score easily to make it a 2-1 game. So Big Papi delivers with a sacrifice fly to give the Red Sox the lead. Mike Lowell up there now. Grounded to a force out his first time up, and that's a ground ball to 3rd. Over to first. Gets him by a couple to retire the side, but the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead on the sacrifice fly by David Ortiz. So number 9 hitter, Duncan up there now, hitting just 173, but does have 5 homers and 11 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to Wakefield, and that one's skied to center. And that one is going to be off the wall. That almost got out of here. So Dave Duncan with a leadoff double. And the tying run is in scoring position for the A's. So to bring up Campinaris now. Campinaris 0 for 1 on the day. And he strikes him out. So Wakefield already with 3 strikeouts. Joe Rudy up there now. Rudy 0 for 1. And that's going to be a line drive to Drew, who makes the catch for out number 2. So Wakefield 1 out away from getting out of it and protecting the Red Sox 2-1 lead. Hegan up there now. And Hegan walked his first time up. And he'll walk again. So 2nd walk given up by Wakefield. Brings up Epstein. Epstein also struck out his first time up. And he'll walk to load the bases. Ugh. So the dangerous Reggie Jackson up there now could break this game wide open. Jackson looking to extend his hitting streak. All right. So Wakefield looks in for the sign. Veritek sets the target. Here's the pitch to Jackson. And 3 walks in a row, and Oakland has tied it. 2-2. So Wakefield's not out of it yet. Bando up there now. Bando, I believe, hit a solo home run his first time up. Wakefield's got to be very careful with him. As Veritek goes to the mound, goes back behind the plate, sets the target. He has a windup in the pitch. And another walk. 4 walks in a row. So Wakefield falling apart early here. As, oh boy. Jeez. I guess we're going to have Kyle Snyder start warming up. So this could be a short outing for Wakefield. So Gene Tennis up there now. And that's a ground ball to first. Euclid takes it over to first. And Wakefield gets out of it, only surrendering 2 runs. But Oakland has the lead now 3-2 after he surrendered 4 walks in a row. All right, so the Red Sox trail for the first time today. Blue Moon Odom back on the hill now with a 1-run lead. Euclid to lead it off. Euclid 0 for 1 on the day. And he'll draw the walk. Second walk given up by Odom. So that brings up J.D. Drew. Euclid's being held on by Epstein. Here's the pitch. And back-to-back walk. So Odom with a little bit of wildness here too. Perhaps it's contagious. That brings up Manny Ramirez. Ramirez has an RBI double to give the Red Sox the lead. Odom looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch to Ramirez. And he strikes him out. Swinging for out number 1. Ramirez trying to put the Red Sox ahead there. Comes up empty. They're bringing up Veritek. Veritek 0 for 1 on the day. And that's going to be a base hit. And, do we send him? I think we're gonna. The third base coach waves him around. And they're going to send Drew to third. And here's the throw home, and he is out. So Euclid nailed at the plate. Both runners do move up, though. But now with 2 down. So that'll bring up Lugo to the plate. Lugo 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to right, and that's going to go out of play. Lugo back in the box. And that's lined out to third to end the inning. So the Red Sox threaten but do not score as Euclid gets thrown out at home. And it remains a 3-2 Oakland lead. Wakefield back out there for the moment. And Guel up there now, 0 for 1 on the day. And that's going to be a base hit. And I think that is going to be it as Francona comes out. And Kyle Snyder will come in. So Wakefield lasts just 3+ innings. Trailing 3-2, responsible for the runner in first. So Kyle Snyder comes in. Snyder in the year hitting, in 12 2/3 innings has a record of 2-0 with ERA of 4.26, 9 hits allowed, 2 home runs, 6 walks, 13 strikeouts, whip of 1.18, and opponents are hitting just 196 against them. So he'll try to keep this a 1-run lead as Dave Duncan steps into the box. Miguel being held on by Euclid at first. Here's the pitch, and he strikes him out. So comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces. And I'll bring up Bert Campinaris, the shortstop. Campinaris 0 for 2 on the day. And here he's off with the pitch, and Miguel steals second. So runner in scoring position now for Campinaris. And that's going to be a base hit as Miguel rounds third. And he'll hold there. So that'll put runners at the corners. And Rudy still trying to extend his hitting streak 0 for 2 on the day. Red Sox are playing back in double play depth. Here's the pitch to Rudy. And it's a ground ball to third. And no. Over to second for 1. Back to first. And the Red Sox are able to get out of it with the 5-4-3 double play. So it remains a 3-2 Oakland lead as we head to the top of the 5th. It began to be the top of the order for the Red Sox. Pedroia, Crisp, and Ortiz if anybody gets on low. So Pedroia 1 for 2 on the day. And strikes him out, swinging for out number 1. So 4 strikeouts on the day for Odom. That'll bring up Crisp. Crisp 0 for 2 on the day. And he'll get on for the first time today, the base hit. Crisp is a threat to steal, and I think we are going to send him even though Ortiz is up there. So Crisp, 81%. He's got a good lead there. So Crisp was off with the pitch, and he is safe. So Crisp in there with his 5th stolen base of the season. So another runner in scoring position for Ortiz, who already has 1 RBI. Odom looks in for the sign. Ortiz ready to grip and rip. And that's going to be a base hit. And that will score Crisp. And Ortiz has his 2nd RBI of the day, and that ties the score at 3. So Ortiz, the recently elected Hall of Famer, is having a good day so far with 2 runs batted in. So Mike Lowell up there now as Ortiz is being held on by Epstein. And that's a fly ball to left. And Rudy will go back and make the catch. Just shy of the warning track for out number 2 as Ortiz scampers back to first. Euclid up there now. Euclid 0 for 1 on the day. As I'm joined by Miss Mags here, eating her late night snack. Mr. Brody is long ago went to bed and is sawing some Z's now. All right, so, oh boy, so I think we got to get somebody warming up here as we're going to have, it's Manny Del Carmen, I guess. We'll start loosening up. All right, so Mike Keegan now with up in a 3-3 game. Keegan walked twice. And that's a soft liner to Snyder. He makes the catch for out number 1. So Epstein up there now. Epstein 0 for 1 officially. And that's going to be a base ground ball to Euclid. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2. So the base is empty with 2 down for Reggie Jackson, who's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a ground ball to Lugo. And Jackson is just out by a half step. And Schneider has a clean inning there. So Schneider does his job. And it remains a 3-3 game as Del Carmen is slated to come in the 6th. So 3-3 now for J.D. Drew, Ramirez, and Veritek. See if they can do anything here to put the Red Sox ahead. Drew officially 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a single. And he gets his 2nd hit of the day, so Drew having a good day so far, on base all 3 times. So Manny Ramirez up there now, struck out his last time up, but also has an RBI double, as Drew is being held on by Epstein. Odom looks in for the sign, looks at the runner, here's the delivery to Ramirez, and it's a soft line of the tennis for out number 1. So that brings up Jason Veritek. Veritek 1 for 2 on the day. And he strikes out. 6 Ks now for Odom. It'll bring up Julio Lugo as 0 for 2 on the day. And that's a ground ball to his counterpart. They go the short way, and that is it for the Red Sox in the 6th. So after 5.5, 3-3. Schneider will be relieved by Del Carmen. So Manny Del Carmen, the Boston native. I believe Hyde Park, I think. I know he's in Boston. Having a very good season so far. A 1-0 record with a 1.98 earned run average. 13 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed just 8 hits, 2 home runs, 6 walks, 14 strikeouts, and a whip of just 1.02. Opponents are hitting just 170 against them, very close to his actual stats, as you can see. So Bando has a home run today already. Up to the plate now. Del Carmen looks in for the sign. He has to wind up in the pitch and strikes him out. So good start for Del Carmen here in the bottom of the 6th. Gene Tennis up there now. 0 for 2. And that's a liner to Pedroia. So 2 up and 2 down in the Oakland 6th. And Gual up there now, 1 for 2 on the day. And he hits one to the center. Chris drifts over to the left and makes the catch. And Oakland goes in order in the 6th. So Odom back out there, 109 pitches on the day. $125 is his limit, or average, or whatever it is. Pedroia will lead it off. Once again, the Red Sox have the top of the order up. He's able to do that. I think this is the 4th time they've been able to do that in 7 innings, so pretty good there, turning over the lineup. Gets the Red Sox looking to get the go-ahead run in there as Pedroia leads it off, 1 for 3. And Pedroia hits to the left. Rudy comes in and shallow left and makes the catch for out number 1. Coco Chris, 1 for 3 on the day. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. And that's 4-3 on the putout, so 2 up and 2 down for Big Papi. 2 runs batted in on the day. See what he can do here. And he'll draw the walk. So that'll be it for Odom. His day is finished. So Raleigh Fingers coming in a little early. Well, usually comes in and saves situation, but back then the closers came in a lot earlier than they did, even though they don't have a lead. But so Fingers comes in. Fingers struggling in the replay, just 2 and 5 with a 4.05 earned run average. Does have 3 saves, 20 innings pitched, 20 hits allowed, 4 home runs allowed, 11 walks, and 19 strikeouts. So he's been a little wild. Whip of 1.55, and opponents are hitting 250 against him. So he's been a little wild. Hopefully the Red Sox can capitalize on his wildness. So Mike Lowell, 0 for 3, will lead it off. It'll be Lowell, Euclid, and Drew. If anybody gets on, Ramirez. So here's Lowell, 0 for 3 on the day, and he lines out for out number. Ooh, and we forgot to warm somebody up. So that could come back to bite us. We're going to have Okajima, Neki Okajima, start warming up. So Dave Duncan up there now, 1 for 2 on the day. And he strikes him out. That'll bring Bert Campinaris, who's 1 for 3, top of the order. And he fouls it back. 0 and 2 the count. And another strikeout. Well, Del Carmen. So it looks like Francona is going to leave him in to try to get Joe Rudy, who's 0 for 3 on the day. And it looks like it's going to work. He pops out, and Lowell will make the catch, and Oakland again goes 1-2-3 as we head to the top of the 8th. So Fingers back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Euclid to lead it off. Euclid 0 for 2 on the day. Does have a walk. And that's going to be a ground out to second. And Euclid is out number 1. J.D. Drew is having a good day. He's been on base all 3 times, a couple of singles and a walk. And he'll ground out to second, so another 4-3 put out. And the Red Sox down to the last out of the 8th. So Ramirez 1 for 3. And he strikes him out. So Fingers strikes him out and goes. Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. So Okajima is going to be coming in to pitch the 8th. Okajima pitching very well in the replay. ERA of just 1. No record so far. Does have 2 saves. In 18 innings, he's allowed only 8 hits, 1 home run, 3 walks, and 18 strikeouts. That's a whip of just .61. Opponents are only hitting 138 against them, so Okajima pitching very well in the replay. So Hegan, lefty on lefty. 0 for 1 officially on the day. Walked twice. That's a ground ball to Pedroia. Over to Euclid at first for out number 1. So 1 out in the Oakland 8th. Brings up Mike Epstein. He was 0 for 1. 0 for 2. And that one was a mistake, and Hegan did not miss it. Sorry, Epstein did not miss it, and that'll put the Oakland Athletics ahead 4-3. So Okajima, who's been excellent this year, coughs up a solo home run, and Oakland will take a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Ouch. So the Red Sox had the matchup they wanted with all the lefties coming up, but Epstein makes them pay with his 9th home run of the season. So Reggie Jackson 0 for 2 up to the plate now. And he'll line out to end the inning, but damage done. Not by the Red Sox. As Mike Epstein puts the Athletics ahead 4-3. So the Red Sox, still one more out. Here we go. For some reason I thought that was the last out, but it is not. So Bando up there now. First righty Okajima will face. Bando's gone yard, and that's going to be a foul ball. So 2-2 the count on Bando. And strikes him out. So 4-3 Oakland as we head to the top of the 9th. It's going to be Veritek. We'll see if they let Lugo bat. Most likely they'll pinch hit for him. And then Pedroia. So Veritek to lead it off. Veritek 1 for 3. Fingers out there to try to get the win. And the Red Sox are going to start. They're going to have Papelbon warming up just in case. So Veritek 1 for 3. Ready to grip and rip against Fingers. Here we go. And nothing doing. He strikes out on an 0-2 pitch. And Lugo will be lifted for a pinch hitter. Oh boy. And they're going to call upon Jacoby Ellsbury to come in. That's their best bet, I think. So Jacoby Ellsbury comes in. Sitting .333 and 3 at-bats, 1 for 3, does have 2 stolen bases, as he's been used as a pinch runner a couple of times. So hopefully Ellsbury can get on. He has good on-base percentage in real life, .394 with a slugging of .509. .353 average with 3 homers and 18 runs batted in limited service with 9 stolen bases. So let's see what the rookie can do here. And it's going to be a ground out, so Ellsbury cannot reach, and Red Sox are down to the last out with Rolly Fingers behind the plate. Rolly Fingers on the mound trying to get the win. Pedroia, their last hope for the Red Sox. Pedroia 1 for 4. Struck out in the first, lined a single in the third, struck out in the 5th, and flied to shallow left in the 7th. So Fingers looks in for the sign. Duncan flashes the sign. He has to wind up in the pitch to Pedroia, and that's going to be a base hit. So the Red Sox are still alive here. Oh boy. I don't think we risk it. Do we try to get Pedroia? Oh boy. So what has Pedroia done? Does he have a stolen base today? I think he does. All right, we're gonna have Pedroia try to steal second here. Let's see what he can do. And nothing doing as he takes a ball, as Pedroia can't get a jump. All right, so we're just gonna hit away here. Fingers looks in for the sign, looks at the Pedroia at first. Chris ready to grip and rip. And he strikes out. So the Oakland Athletics and David Ortiz tribute day fall to the Oakland Athletics by a score of 4-3. So the Red Sox, who had been tearing it up most of the year, most of this replay, fall today to the Athletics. So let's take a look at the complete here. I'm going to take a look at the batting first. I should take a look at the pitching first. So Tim Wakefield only lasted 3+ innings, allowing 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Odom, 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 4 walks and 6 strikeouts, so both pitches pretty wild. Wally Fingers gets the win in 2 1/3 innings. He allows just 1 hit, striking out 3. And Kyle Snyder pitched 2 innings, allowing 1 hit for the Red Sox and 1 strikeout. Del Carmen, 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, pitched well also. Okajima, who had been really shorthanded this year, coughs up the home run to Epstein and sends the Oakland A's fans home happy. So Fingers now 3-5, Okajima 0-1. Let's look at the batting. So for the Athletics, only 5 hits. Campinaris 1 for 4. Rudy was 0 for 4. Hegan 0 for 2 with a run scored, 2 walks. Mike Epstein, the hero of the day, 1 for 3 with a solo homer, walked once. Reggie Jackson 0 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. And the other RBI went to Sal Bando, who was 1 for 3 with a homer, and actually he had 2 runs batted, did Sal Bando, walking once also. Gene Tennis 0 for 3. Cullen came in to play third. Flaming play second. Did not get an at-bat. Mangual 1 for 3. And Dave Duncan was 1 for 3 with a run scored. So let's take a look. Take a look at the Red Sox, of course. So Dustin Pedroia was 2 for 5. Red Sox had 8 hits with a run scored. Coco Crisp was 1 for 5 with a run scored. David Ortiz had a respectable day. 1 for 1. Walked twice, had a sacrifice fly, and an RBI single. So you get 2 runs batted in on the day. Mike Lowe 0 for 4. Euclid 0 for 3. J.D. Drew had a good day, 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Manny Ramirez 1 for 4 with an RBI double. Jason Varitek was 1 for 4. And Lugo was 0 for 3. And Ellsbury as a pinch hitter was 0 for 1. So there's the miscellaneous there. Ramirez had his 7th double of the season. Dave Duncan his 3rd. Home runs, Bando had his 3rd off Wakefield. And Epstein, the game winner, his 9th off of Okajima. But the base is empty. So let's take a look at the season stats a little bit here. So these are all the 20 greatest teams here from the from 2018 version of Action PC. So the Toronto Blue Jays with the 2015 Toronto Blue Jays. And so the Red Sox are now tied with them for first. For a while they were well ahead, and they come down to earth a little bit in the last week or so. Cleveland Indians from 2017 Cleveland Indians. 1912. The Orioles were the 71 Orioles. 17-14 Detroit was 84, I think. Yep, 84 Detroit. Houston was the 1998 Houston, which technically was in the National League, but they put them in the American League here. Seattle, of course, the 2001 Seattle Mariners are in 7th place there. 13-18, the New York Yankees, which were from 1998, are just 13-18 so far. The Anaheim Angels from 2002. And then the 72 Oakland, 11-20. So we're also playing the Atlanta Braves over here. The Cincinnati Reds are in first place, 20-11. No surprise from 1975. Pittsburgh from 72 actually. In second place, 19-12. Atlanta from 1998. Not the year they won the World Series. 95 was it? Well, the first World Series. He just won recently, of course, this year. Chicago Cubs from 2016, or 16 and 15. Arizona from 1999. And then you have the San Francisco Giants from the year they won 100 and whatever games, 102, 103 maybe. Atlanta won just one more, I think. So 2002 San Francisco, 15 and 16. And then you have the Los Angeles 1974, I believe. Yep. Dodgers. And then you have the Philadelphia Phillies from 76. And then you have the New York Mets, of course, from 1986. Not doing well, which is good. And surprisingly, the St. Louis Cardinals from 2013 in the basement with the Mets from 86, which is fine with me. Anyway, that's it there. Let's take a look at some of the league leaders so far. As you can see here, not many Red Sox in here or Braves. Curt Schilling for the Red Sox is what is he, 6-1? No, 3-3. So we'll take a look at that later. Greg Maddux is doing well for Atlanta. He's 6-1. He was 6-0, I think, and then he just lost his first game recently. I believe it was. No, actually, he lost his first game. Sorry, it was the opposite. He lost his first game, and then he won 6 in a row. So he's been on a tear. Let's see. Jonathan Papelbon has 9 saves, tied with Hernandez for the league lead. And team pitching, Atlanta, no surprise, first, and the Red Sox right behind them, though. 2.91. So the Red Sox pitching in the greatest teams league overall, excellent. All-Stars, Maddux and Lopez. Lopez having a good start for the Braves. 257 with 7 homers, 13 runs batted, 22 runs batted in. So let's take a look at the Red Sox overall stats here. Team. Where was it? Right here. Bullpen depth. No, that's not it. Lineup. Well, I guess it doesn't show the. Yeah, there's got to be a place where it shows the actual versus real usage. Box scores. No, that's not it. Replay leaders. I guess you can look at this. That's just as good as anything. So Veritek leads 308. Manny Ramirez 31 games. Pedroia plate appearances. Pedroia with a bunch of those. ORTIZ with 16 runs scored, 22 runs batted in. Intentional base on balls, ORTIZ. Sacrifice flies, ORTIZ. So again, this is fairly early, only 31 games into the season. Schilling, 272 earned run average. Okajima, 15 games. So Schilling leading a lot of these. Wakefield not doing so well. Daisuke pretty scary. Wild as usual, as he was most of that season. Seems like every time he looked up, he had the bases loaded, but somehow seemed to get out of it. Yeah, so those are some of the Red Sox stats in the replay that we're doing. So yeah, and let's look at just David Ortiz, just to show you the season he did have. 35 homers, 117 runs batted in, 182 hits. Excellent season. Like I said, off to a slow start so far, only hitting 234, but I'm sure he'll pick it up. Yeah, doing a little bit better against the lefties and righties, which is a surprise, but there we go. So there's David Ortiz, the newly elected Hall of Famer. There are his stats there. So that's it. We're going to call it a video here. Let's I guess we can take a look at Atlanta, our other team we're doing, just to show you briefly if anybody cares. Let's see here. we go. So 31 games. They're the leaders here. Chipper Jones, Galarraga, Lopez, all the usual names there. Lopez leading with 7 home runs. Galarraga leading with 22 runs scored. RBIs. Chipper Jones with 22 runs batted in. Andrew Jones, 5 stolen bases. Yeah, definitely a great team. And here you go. Maddox just dominating everywhere here. ERA 1.15. 2 complete games already. And I think 7 or 8 starts. I think 7. 55 innings pitched. Tom Glavine struggling a bit so far, but I'm sure he'll turn it around. Danny Nagel also not doing so well. Elwood, but Maddox leading in all the positive categories. 43 strikeouts, 6 wins. And Maddox with a shutout. 6 quality starts. 7 starts, I think. And just 5.9 hits per 9 innings. 2 walks per 9 innings, which is actually high for Maddox. A whip of just .873, so Maddox dominating so far. But anyway, we'll probably show you a game from this season later on if you'd like to see another one. With either Atlanta or the Red Sox against any of these particular teams I showed, let me know. And when they play each other, I'll try to get a good matchup there. So that's it. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from High Ground Gaming. Wishing David Ortiz a happy Hall of Fame inductee night. And we look forward to seeing that during the summer. So take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.